Hey, welcome to Geeky Faucets. I'm Amy Dale.
And I'm Christine Lucas-Savage.
And this is episode 67. And the main thing we wanted to talk about today is Chuck.
Yeah, I'm really, really kind of obsessed with that show.
So here's what happened.
I just started the 4th season.
Yeah. Here's what happened. I have heard the name Zachary Levi a lot because he's kind of a big deal in geek circles, and he started Nerd HQ, and he's just a really cool guy. And I've
never heard of him before Tangled. I'm like, who's this guy? Because he's Flynn Rider in Tangled.
He is. And
I'm like, what? Who is this guy, and why do I care about him? Oh, because he's Chuck. I had no idea what I was missing.
Yeah. So we are way late to this party. We get that, but I had heard his name so much, and so I finally decided, like, what is. So I went and looked him up, and of course he was Flynn Rider, which I didn't need to watch that because I've seen that
9 million times.
I have 4 children. It's a really good movie though, and he's an amazing singer, which was cool. I was like, oh, that's great. He's got a great voice. And then
not compared to Jeffster. All of you Chuck watchers will understand what that means. Just kidding.
So anyway, I was like, oh, he's in Chuck. I should watch that. I've never seen that. So I watched episode 1 and kind of fell in love with this show. Now I am only at the very beginning of season 2 because I recommended it to all my friends, and they are like grabbed onto it with both hands and then just like shot.
Well, here's the thing. Here's why I'm so far ahead is because my husband traveled. He was gone for like a weekend, and he was gone for an entire week. So I'm like, dude's gone. I can like watch 3 episodes at night. My kids are in school. I'll have it, watch it while I'm working.
Heck yeah.
So I could watch the crap out of it. Now I've barely watched an episode since he's been home. So
yeah, that's the thing. I mean, like, it's just finding time, but it is such a good show. So if you also have not joined this party yet,
you really should.
You should try it out because it's a super fun show. I mean, like, it's this normal average guy who works at the Nerd Herd, which I think is the equivalent of the Geek Squad.
Mm-hmm. Fixes computers at a big giant hardware store.
Hardware
store.
It looks like it's like a Best Buy.
Yeah, like a Best Buy.
Anyway, it's just, and then he gets mixed up with all this spy stuff, and it's just funny because he's so he plays the everyday guy, the everyman so well. Like when stuff starts going down, he's like a big screaming like a girl, and it's funny. Yeah,
and he's just so adorable. Like, I have a big old crush on him.
He is adorable, and as your fixation with height, like
he's really tall. He's 6'4".
Yeah, he's 6'4". There you go.
Yeah, he's really tall. Adam Baldwin is also in it, and he's from Firefly. You know, he's Jane.
Yes.
So it's a similar character, but he's not like dumb. Because Jane's kind of like a big clumsy oaf. Kind of a deal. Not clumsy, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, and when I first watched it, I told Christine about it, and so she watched it, and she was like watching the first episode. She's like, "Oh my gosh, Jane is in this!" And I was like, "I know, but he's a regular." And she was like, "Yeah."
Well, there's this one episode. I don't even know if I should even. Well, it doesn't even matter because y'all have probably seen it, but it doesn't spoil anything. But he's shining his car, and he goes, "Shiny!"
I know.
And I'm like, oh, you used my favorite word. Like, that was the greatest. It was like, thank you for the nod to Firefly. That was just fantastic.
I had a little moment too there, and it's funny because my kids are watching it. My kids were watching it with me, and they were like, "What?"
Like, we don't get it.
It's funny. Never mind.
Like, we love it. I actually told my mom, like, Mom, I started watching this show. It's so great. And she's like, well, what is it? I'm like, it's Chuck. She's like, oh, we watched that long ago.
I know.
And I'm like, oh.
I know. All my friends.
Oh, and also, get this. I was talking to my Korean tutor it was last week during my lesson, and I was telling her about a new show because I was trying to have a conversation in Korean, and I was like, oh, and I found this new show, Chuck, and she's like, oh, the one about the spy, and I'm like, you watched it? Like, how cool are you? Like, I don't know, like that was like my worlds way colliding.
Yeah, no
like my
kidding.
Like
your Korean tutor,
right?
And you can talk about
she's kind
Chuck.
of awesome. But anyway,
yeah, and we are going to cosplay.
My shirt's on its way.
Chuck and Casey.
I'm going to be John Casey. I might have a Buy More shirt on the way. So
it's going to be pretty awesome. We're going to be the female
I'm so excited for it.
I know. So we'll have pictures from Denver Comic Con of that. It's going to be so fun. And on my video gaming updates. It's depressing.
Do you want to hear my video game update first?
Yes.
I haven't played one at all.
Here's the thing. I'm really excited for summer. And yes, because it's beautiful outside and you can go hiking and stuff, but more because I can go down to the cave. I don't have to homeschool any children, and I can just be completely irresponsible and defeat all my video games that I want to play. So I am still playing BioShock Infinite, but honestly, I have like maybe an hour a week that I play, maybe, if I'm lucky. So the other day, the kids were all occupied at the same time for some reason. And I didn't have anything to do that I couldn't avoid. You know, like there were a few things. Like I could have been folding laundry.
Dishes and
yeah,
things.
but I was like, I'm going down right now. And I got to this level that I think I've now played the same level about 30 times. And it keeps saying, you didn't defeat this level.
Okay, this is a valid, legitimate question for you. Now, after like twice, I'm like, dude, I'm done. I throw the thing out the window. Like, how do you do it so many times to where you don't want to put your foot through the TV screen?
It's a challenge. You know what though? What it hasn't done on this level for me, which I think is the rudest thing that the Xbox has ever done, is you can change the difficulty settings at any time in the main menu.
Oh,
and it makes me
want to
like
freaking
strangle the machine. But it hasn't done that to me on this one, which is better because then I'm like, okay, it's not telling me I completely suck. But I think I kind of do. I'm not a really good gamer. I just really enjoy it. So, yeah, so I'm trying. And my son injured himself, so I was like, it's okay, you can't get up and run around, but maybe you can help me defeat that level.
So basically you're cheating anyway? So
no, he hasn't helped me, and I don't think he can really help me on this one because he hasn't like been doing this stuff that you have to do up to this time. So I just have to it's like one of those levels where everything happens at once, like all these ships are coming and attacking you, and you're supposed to defeat them all, and yeah, I don't multitask very well apparently, so. And another thing, to harp on the same thing again, is Ready Player One. And if you guys haven't read this yet, you really need to read this, Christine.
I still haven't read it.
I know.
I love how you call me Christine.
In case you didn't hear that. So, okay, I read it, obviously not very long ago, and we talked about it on the show. And I'm kind of obsessed with it. It's probably one of my favorite books. And I know that's saying a lot because I have massive book obsession. But it's just so well written, and it's so like in my universe of what I love. So it's just perfect. But it
Do you own the book?
No, I got, well, here's what happened. I got it from the library to read it the first time because I was like, we'll see how this is. And then I adored it, so I will be owning it. But I have a subscription to Audible. So then later I was like, Will Wheaton narrates this.
I love that
Can
about
I get
that book.
this?
Yes.
So I got it on Audible and then recently listened to it again, which it probably hasn't been like 3 months since I read it. But I was like, I'm gonna listen to this again, and it was so good. I like when I finished, I said to my daughter, I was like, I feel like I could just start it again right now. It's so bad. I have heard rumor that they're making a movie of that, and if they do, it would make me such a happy camper. And speaking of movies, I'm so excited about Guardians of the Galaxy.
Everything I keep seeing is, I like seeing Pinterest. By the way, their geek section is so good.
Yeah.
Forever. Like, I mean, I know Pinterest, whatever, is where mostly girls are, but there are so many.
But we're girls.
But no, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
if you need like a quick update and what's going on in like all of geekdom, go to the geek section on Pinterest. But
Yeah,
I love
that's true.
all of like the things they're doing with Rocket Raccoon. They have. You know Rocket Man, that movie from a while ago? So they have Rocket Raccoon doing the whole, like, Rocket Man thing, like, in that poster, and, yeah, so.
I love Rocket, and I read the comics, and he's just, I mean, they just have really, from the previews, and I really hope, please, please, please.
Don't get your hopes up.
I know, I hope that it's as good as the previews, because the previews have made me really happy camper, because they've really embodied the, like, spirit of the comics, with that, like, super snarky kind of.
Did you read the Rocket Raccoon from Free Comic Book Day?
Mm-hmm.
My kids said it was funny.
Yes, well, he's really funny, and and the Deadpool one.
Did you like
She
those?
loaned me the Deadpool wedding.
Did you read
Yes, I haven't finished them yet, but
Oh.
they're big. Man, the wedding one's like a serious,
Yeah.
thick comic book. But yeah, I mean, they're really good. And then The Search for Wanla.
Mm-hmm.
I read a long time ago, and
I read that last year.
It's a young adult sci-fi, and the first one came out several years ago. I read it a long time ago. And then there's another one called Hero for Wanla, and then the third one just came out like not very long ago, a few weeks ago, and it's called A Battle for Wanla, which I haven't read yet, but I'm really excited about. And that's a really,
It's a good intro into sci-fi, I think.
Yeah.
Like, it's not too much, because sci-fi can get a little graphic and a little, like, weird.
Yeah.
But that has just enough weirdness and just enough sweetness. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a really good book.
It's written by Tony Dieterlitzky. I probably butchered his name. I'm trying really hard. But he is the same guy that wrote Spiderwick Chronicles. And it is really good. So you should look that one up too. And then I wanted to talk about Her Universe because
they have really cute girl geek stuff. Like, it's not, here's a unisex t-shirt that's going to make you look basically like a man. Like, it's, No,
it's like, most of it's just really cute, made for chick stuff. And they have little dresses. Like, they have a dress that's like Han Solo.
Oh, I haven't seen
outfit.
that.
Yeah, like it looks like Han Solo's outfit, but it's a little dress. It's super cute. They have a lot of really cool stuff. So if you have not checked out the Her Universe website, you totally should, because they have a lot of really cute stuff. And while you're on the computer, you should know about all the things that we're on. Because if you enjoy our show, you can follow us. Well, first of all, on Facebook is probably one of our more active places. Is Facebook. We're very active on Facebook. We're also on Twitter.
Not quite as active,
but we are on there. And Instagram.
During cons, we go a little nuts on Instagram. So
and Vine. Instagram and Vine gets very...
Yes, when we go to cons.
Yeah, when we go to cons, those get really exciting. But Instagram, we keep up with Instagram pretty much most of the time, though. So, Instagram is really fun. I love that one. And then Pinterest. We're on Pinterest, so you should look us up on Pinterest, and you can find all kinds of geek stuff. Yes. And then Goodreads. We are on there, and we have an Etsy site, and our website is just www.geekyfaucets.com.
And you can see we have a Goodreads thing on there, and also our Etsy store on there. Is it Etsy or Etsy? Do you know?
I always call it Etsy.
Me too. I don't know. Anyway, so you can see that stuff, on the sidebar there as well. So,
and one of the things we're most excited about is Denver Comic Con. It is so soon. We are so excited about it. So that's June 13th through 15th. And if you're thinking about coming, do.
And find us and tweet us. That's probably why we're not in Twitter as much.
Twitter us.
Tweet us, find us on Facebook, come find us. We'd love to come say hello. So
yes, it would be super fun. And we have more COG stickers to give away.
Loads.
The Hairless Wonder Kitty. So, so find us, we'll give you a sticker, and we would be happy to meet you. And so hopefully, their website is set up, and you can, I think, buy tickets at your local comic book store.
It'll tell you all on their website, and you can find out who all is going to be there. I am most excited for Bruce Campbell, I'll be honest.
I think I'm most excited for Carl Urban.
I thought he wasn't going anymore.
What? Really?
No, I could be wrong.
We need to look.
Never mind. Don't listen to me. My facts don't tend to be right. A lot of
I'm also excited. This is one I'm really excited about. Is Weta Workshop is going to be there.
The special effects people, right?
Yes, from like Lord of the Rings and stuff. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about that, because they're going to be doing panels, and we're also going to be moderating some panels. So we'll let you know which ones those are going to be if you're there and you want to come. So So thanks so much for joining us. And let us know what you're excited about in the geek universe right now. We'd love to hear. And hopefully, let us know what you think about Chuck. And if you haven't watched it, you should check it out.
You really should.
And we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us.